Welcome to Week 6 of the passive phase in the Thinsulin program. We hope that you are loving the 2 portions of enjoyment foods per day while still being able to maintain your weight loss. Our goal for you this week is to identify any recent changes in weight and to use them as guidelines and to understand more about triglycerides. This is the 6th week of the passive phase and you are halfway through. This is the most troublesome week because most members gain back some weight during this time, and a few people gain lots of weight quickly. We recommend you monitor your weight daily so that you can monitor yourself better. If you gain over 5 pounds or more, insulin resistance is happening. It means that your newly made insulin receptors are being damaged. You need to review what you eat and record them down or input in your Thinsulin food diary so that other members or a health educator can review and guide you. If you gain too much weight, you may have to restart from the beginning of the active phase. Here are the substances that can damage the insulin receptors. 1. Insulin. High level of insulin can damage the insulin receptors. When you eat too much of the red light foods, more than 2 portions, or when you eat them at the snack times, the sugar spikes. It causes your pancreas to overproduce insulin and insulin level spikes. Too much insulin during this crucial time will damage the newly made insulin receptors. 2. Fructose. High level of fructose can also damage the insulin receptors. If you drink sodas or sweet drinks during this time, fructose level spikes. That's the reason why you should avoid fructose. Furthermore, after a few months without sweets, high fructose corn syrups, your body is getting used to it. Sweet stuffs can stimulate your pleasure center again, and you are back with sugar addiction. All of your hard work is wasted. 3. Fat such as triglycerides and cholesterol. High level of triglyceride in your blood can damage the insulin receptors. Most of the low-carbohydrate diet programs encourage people to eat meats and fats as well as fried foods. For the compliance, Thinsulin program does not focus too much on fats during the beginning of the active phase. However, Thinsulin program requires that you need to cut down the fat during the passive phase. Some people who have a hard time to lose weight need to avoid cholesterol and fat right from the beginning of the active phase. Let's learn about triglyceride this week. Triglyceride is the type of fat that makes you fat. Triglyceride is deposited beneath your skin, under your chin, inside your belly, etc. It's the fat that you can see. Triglyceride is comprised of 3 fatty acids binding to 1 glycerol. The fatty acids can vary from saturated to unsaturated. Fatty acids can be quite short or very long. Fatty acids can have only 1 double or many double bonds, which can be either cis form or trans form. Your body stores whatever the fatty acids that you consume. If you eat good fatty acids from fish or plants, your body stores them in the triglyceride. If you eat bad fatty acids with trans form, your body also stores them. Even when you don't eat fatty acids, your body still makes them from the sugar. Where are fatty acids of triglycerides coming from? 1. From carbohydrate. 2. From solid fats and oils. Triglyceride is broken down into fatty acids, which are used for energy. Essential fatty acids are the fatty acids that our body can't make. Essential fatty acids like omega-3 or omega-6 are used in the cell membrane of the nervous system. Fact number 1. Do you know that fatty acids with trans form from potato chips or cakes, once they form as triglycerides and store in your body, can stay there for at least 2 years? Fact number 2. Triglycerides are stored in adipose or fat cells. After puberty, an individual will have fixed number of fat cells. The fat cells get bigger when triglycerides are stored in them and shrinks when triglycerides are broken down for energy. In other words, fat cells are like the balloons which inflate and deflate. However, according to the research, when a fat balloon inflates 4 times of its size, it will split into 2 new balloons. The number of fat cells double. For example, if you have 1,000 fat cells, you always have 1,000 fat cells. When you gain fat weights, those 1,000 fat cells inflate and get bigger. When you lose fat weights, the 1,000 fat cell balloons deflate and shrink. If the 1,000 fat cells inflate 4 times their size, they split and become 2,000 fat cells. Fact number 3. Don't eat trans fat because trans fat can't be broken down. The fat cells can only inflate but can't deflate with trans fat in them. If you eat trans fat, you only gain weight but you can't lose them. Worse, if the fat cells are 4 times their original size, they will split and you may end up with double numbers of fat cells. Bad news. Problems are not stop signs. They are the good guidelines for you. Slow down, breathe deep, and see it through. Retrace few steps, get through easily. Sweet things make you heavy because fructose breaks those receptors. Sweet things stimulate center. You are addicted because of pleasure. Fat cells are such nature. They store more fat, later will burn. If store trans fat, you'll learn fat cells can't shrink, can't burn at all. Fat cells are like a ball, inflate, deflate, but all the same. If they inflate, inflame up to 4 sizes, become double. It's when you're in trouble. You gain more weight with double fat cells. Thank you. This program is brought to you by Dr. Thinsulin ENG, MD, together with Dr. Charles Nguyen, MD, the authors of the Thinsulin Program, the breakthrough solution to help you lose weight and stay thin. Stay tuned for the next episode.